And I've always told this to any of my friends that are DJs. I'm like, if I come out, and it's not even just me, this is anybody, and there are dancers there and we are not dancing, that lets you know how we feel. But if you can keep us intertwined, connected, and fully invested, then that means you got it.
Rock D.
Yep.
So he taught me there's layers to this.
Yep.
And he said there are going to be easy people. There's going to be people who are meh, right? Maybe leaning up against the wall, but they want to play, but they're not quite sure. They don't have the confidence yet. And then there's going to be people like myself who are like, no way. And he said, if you can play to all three and you can get this movement, and it doesn't mean all three have to be going at the same time.
Yep. Some people gonna feel it, some people not. It's just how it goes. But it's even more dope when they do feel it, because then that means they're connecting with you personally.
Yeah.
So if we have no pre-warm up and we just pulled in and you are like, you got me, and I'm on, for that limit, whatever the amount of time I'm on stage, and that whole time I'm feeling it, that's like, that means I'm feeling you.
Yeah.
I'm connected with you in this moment, regardless of whatever happens, whatever the transition, whatever the songs, it doesn't matter. It's like, that speaks to you and who you are and how connected I feel to you, which that's more powerful than, oh yeah, let's do this song, then let's do this, and let's do that. Like that organic, just like natural flow. Everybody doesn't have that.
The moment I'm thinking of, like when you surprised me, was when I was at Brady Street Festival.
Yeah.
And this was years ago.
Yeah.
And you came, and so that stage was dead. Like when I started, nobody was on that street. Like there was like dead time in the changeover.
Yep.
And it was dead. I remember having this mentality. I had a videographer there, and I was like, I gotta have fun with this. I've been dreaming about having this opportunity. And then that was one of my favorite gigs that I had. Probably, I would put that up there, like top 5 ever. Because when I looked up at the end of that set, which was like an hour, so like the sun had gone down, that was, and it gives me goosebumps, that was the Milwaukee that I want to be a part of.
Yeah.
Like at the end of that set. And you were such a huge, vital part of that. Like, I don't know, I think you told me you were like eating something, you were coming down the block.
I literally was walking down the block, and then I heard, but it was the music, and it was before I even knew that it was you down there, which, like I said, you feeling it, and I was feeling what you were doing, and I just was like, I was in the middle of something, eating or talking or whatever, because it's Brady Street Day, so it was crazy, and I literally, and then I was just like, gotta go. It felt like from Up when the dog's like, squirrel. And, and I literally I just hit it. I didn't even wait.
And you just came on stage. Like, it was
you were like, I was like,
yeah, I was like, come on.
I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah. And that's all, I was like, cool. Because I'm just going to vibe up. But you was like, let's go. I was like, all right, let's do it.
Yep.
Let's do it.
And
I remember,
let's go.
I remember it was just like, boom. It was just like, it just took it.
It did.
It was perfect because it was just like our energy and like that just, cohesive, that every time it just, we feed off each other. So then, and everybody was, all right, yeah, let's go.
I know.
And then it just started.
And it was everything. I literally have that, it's not a playlist, right? Like, I don't like calling it that, but like I have that crate from that day still that I go to.
Yep.
That like sometimes if I feel stuck, and like we had Nicki, we had Beyonce, we had The Wobble, we had some bachata, and that's why for me, it was the moment I was like, this is the Milwaukee, like that when I looked up and like the video from there. So we had like little kids dancing, we had you dancing. There was some older, like elderly people with canes, like getting in on it. And it was like, this is it.
Yep.
And it was every single person you could imagine across the spectrum. And it like gave me so much joy. And I love like that memory with you. And that's what I think about, like when I talk about, and I'm like processing what you're saying right now, is like, how have I hopefully added value to you? And we could talk about that soundtrack all the time.
It's always impactful. It's the fact that you're in the room. That's half the battle. That's what makes it what it is. That's what makes you who you are. And such a, beyond just an asset, but just like the essence of what gives Milwaukee what it is and what it should be. I'm learning that too, where it's just like, you're not just this choreographer.
Yep.
It can't just be one trick pony. It has to be so much more than that, because we have different roles on the team, but our responsibilities and like our presence on the team is major.
Yep.
And so like you're not just DJ Shauna, not mine. I know you, Shauna Nichols. Like, I know you as you, and that's something that like, as the kids would say, you understand your assignment. Yeah. The whole assignment book at this point, right? You know what I mean? And the thing is you're still willing to learn.
Mm-hmm. So as we enter this Christopher DeAngelo chapter, what is it for you? Because I don't want to put that on you, like what that soundtrack sounds like. I have an idea.
Yeah.
But like I want to hear it from you.
Yeah. So I mean, there's tons of songs, but just because we're talking about right now, there's a song that I recently heard. This was like maybe a month ago. That like, as soon as I heard it, I was like, man, this is like, it obviously speaks to me, but it like solidifies the point of what it needs to be from here on out.
Yeah.
In my like mid 30s, you know, I've been doing this teaching since I was 14, which is just crazy to think. Started at a very small studio across the street from Mayfair called Pat Keller's. Yeah. They had like, I was their first hip hop instructor. Belly dancing was like the focus of the studio. So they went completely different direction. So to go from that kid to now being at Salute Society on King Drive in Bronzeville with my business partner, Mr. Tony Carter, shout out to him for believing, who's not a dancer, but just believes in the bigger picture of like, there has to be more for us here beyond just the typical things, which he gets that, and I'm on the same frequency as him. But this song by Boss called Run It Up, I definitely listened to it. It has this like powerful, like crazy, like build up and these drops and all this kind of stuff, but he's just talking about run it up.
Yeah.
As much as you can with whatever you're doing, whoever you're with, whatever that you're feeling, don't sit on it. Don't be hesitant about it. Don't be fearful within whatever you're doing. Why tiptoe around your greatness?
Yeah.
Step in it.
Yeah.
And run it up. And I always tell people, I used to say walk in your greatness, but now I say run in it. What we walking for? Like we've been walking all this time.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times you get through life, when you walk, you're just getting by. Just nonchalantly moving or just kind of passing by. But when you're running, you got somewhere you got to get to.
Yeah.
And my mindset now is like, I got to run it up as much as possible with the voice I have, the position, and where I'm at, you know, and just in general in my life. So that song right now speaks to me for sure for where I am now in this at this specific stage and space. But then also like, cause I'm an old school kind of guy, James Brown, The Boss.
Ooh.
Like if you know me, Be Mad Boss is my my handle. And most people are like, what does that mean? Like, so the Be Mad part is boss mode all day, 24/7, 365 days a year. I got to live with the mindset of being a boss, unless it's a leap year, so then it's not 365. But outside of that, it's like I have to be a boss. And I remember being younger, like me and my cousins were the ones that kind of came up with this Be Mad, like always be a boss, always be in the mindset of that all day, every day.
Yeah.
Whenever somebody would say, you ain't a boss, I'm like, you can be mad about it, but I'm still a boss. Right. You can feel some type of way about it, but I'm still a boss. And so, you know, when I think about that song, it's like pay the cost to be the boss. You got to pay your respects. You got to pay your dues. You got to pay your time, the blood, sweat, tears, all of those different things to get to this point, to own it. It's always in you. You just got to embrace it. And I get like experience and having time, but it's like, shoot, you be a little boss.
There's like this silly meme cartoon of this guy with a pickaxe. And maybe you've seen it. And there's one on top of the other.
Yep. Oh, yep. Yep.
One guy with a pickaxe, and we can see what he can't see.
Yep.
What this guy can't see, right? Because we have that third person sort of perspective, right?
Yep.
So he's in a cave, and this guy on top is walking away, and we can see what the guy on the bottom is about to do is take this swing and literally about to hit gold. And like I think about that a lot, and it seems so silly and so simple, and I don't even know where that graphic came into my world. But I don't ever want to regret not trying, like you said. And that's the stuff that I think life is made of, is like failing, if you will, if you want to even call it that, is a part of it. But I can't fail if I try.
Like, yes, it didn't work out. Okay.
Right.
Ooh, I got to do a little bit better. Ooh.
Right.
And it's, I'm almost, not just yet.
Right.
And then what happens is, now you prepare yourself for it. So it's all a part of it. It's sometimes even better that way.
Yep.
Where it doesn't hit or land on the first try. And it's like, I'm guilty of it. I'm sure we've all been there where it's like, I take myself out of it for whatever reason because I just overthink it, or I'm just like, oh, well, it just didn't work this time. And so then I like kind of just let it go, or I'll come back to it, or sometimes not go back to it at all, which are all signs of like learning to like appreciate that like, this may not be for you, but it's okay, but it's gonna put you in a position to be better for something else. Removing yourself from this space to put you in a better space. But it's also paying attention to it. Otherwise you can become a repeat offender of just doing the same things and just falling short. And that's why my classes are set up the way that they are. I talk about value, mental health, your worth, taking chances on yourself, just because it's like, when we do anything now, it's got to be more. Goes back to the Run It Up song. Like, you here to run it up. You here to gain something, take something away from it, and then apply it to yourself in the real world when you step outside of the four walls of that classroom. Otherwise, what good am I doing? We made it through this crazy space of a pandemic. It's still whatever that is, because there's always different pandemics in different ways. But I'm like, now when people come to class, what are they really gaining? I've always had the mindset, like, give them something that's purposeful, but like, now you got to give them something that has intent.
So last question, when you do win, no matter if it's that first shot or if it's the 23rd shot, what's the song?
Drake, Show Me a Good Time.
Yeah.
It's just something about it, like living in this space of just like, man, I'm not here for a long time, but I'm here for a good time. You know the line. And so it's just like, man, show me a good time. Make the most of it. And what I mean by it.
Drake.
Yeah, right.
Like I do. Start to finish.
Right.
Every album.
However that you feel, you cannot deny like what he's presented for everybody.
Yeah.
So it's literally what you talked about, right? Like with those three different people in a space or a party or a club, it's like, this Drake song may not speak to you, but I guarantee you there's gonna be one that speaks to this one, this person that likes to sit on the wall, this person that dances, this person that's like,
good point.
I like that. You know what I mean? Like when you talk about that's regardless how you feel, because everybody has their opinions, but like when you talk about range and understanding your purpose, he's given us everything. Because
I would argue that his house album is brilliant.
Right.
Because Americans will be like,
there's a place for it.
House is the number one genre in the world.
He knew.
But he knows.
He knew.
Like,
I was like,
look at what Beyonce did at the same time. Like, I'm just saying. Like, those are all house beats.
Like you can't tell me that that's not a win. Like, but also when you've been somewhere, you can go somewhere with it. Like, you know that there's like so much outside of only what you know. If you only stick to what you know, then you don't understand that there's so much more that you can give to or like speak to. Which is clearly what they did. You know, it's like, yeah, man, that land here, but it's gonna hit over there.
Right.
And that's inviting everybody in.
Right.
That's showing everybody a good time.
You know
what I mean?
He brought it back.
It goes full
in
circle.
Christopher DeAngelo fashion.
Right.
You make my heart happy, man. I'm sure that people are gonna really enjoy this. We got to make sure we shout you out enough. So like, if people, I'm sure people want to follow, learn more. What's the best place and space for them to do that?
Every handle, all my handles are the same. BMadBoss, BMADBOSS. Doesn't matter. Check me out. Boss mode all day. That's the mindset.
Come to Milwaukee, right?
Yeah,
You're
man.
not in Milwaukee? Come to Milwaukee.
Yeah, come see us, man.
You.
It's so much, man. So much beyond just this conversation. Is always bigger than us. And like the moment that you realize that and see that, then you understand like how much of a difference and impact that you can make within not only yourself, but everybody else that's around you. And the city is filled with tons of this beyond just us. And so we're just a part of the team, you know.
What's your song for today?
For today?
Yeah, what are you feeling?
Me and you?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let me tell you about my best friend. No, this man.
You're so clever.
Now that could be a good one, you know.
Right? On a lot of levels.
But I'm thinking, yeah. Like, I mean, I guess now I'm just thinking about this, just with the mindset from this conversation, what I took away from the A$AP Ferg, New Level.
I'm on a new level.
Yep. The feeling that I feel today and how I'm going to walk into today. I teach tonight in my studio, so it's like the mindset is just like, yeah, I'm on a new level as far as feel, inspiration, insight, resource, knowledge, like all of those different things. So yeah, you want it to be that always, right? It's always a new level. It's never just, this is a good level. And I'll leave you with this. My biggest fear used to be not living up to my potential. I've totally rephrased that, and now it's my biggest fear is not exceeding my potential.
I like that.
Right?
Yeah.
Because it's always, that means you reached your ceiling if you're like, oh, I've lived up to it. Let's completely remove the ceiling, you know what I'm saying, and just go.
Yep.
That new level, it's always a new level. There's always more room to grow and opportunities and space to be more of who you need to be for yourself. And then that will impact and be the ripple effect for other people. But it's like, you got to find it for yourself. You know, or as I like to put it, allow space to create space.
Yes.
You know, allow yourself to be in the space to create more within that space for yourself and everybody else. So
You're brilliant.
Nah,
Thank you for your time, for your smile, for your heart, your passion.
Yep.
For being a motivational mover, because you moved me today, so thank you.
Likewise,
I love you.
Yep.
Thank you. That's it. We got to go make a playlist. That's what we should do.
Yep.
We're going to have a Dare to be Christopher G.
Yeah,
DeAngelo, excuse me, Christopher DeAngelo.
No, it's cool.
We're gonna have a Dare to Be Christopher DeAngelo playlist. We're gonna link to this as well.
That's why.
So we'll put the songs that you mentioned in there.
Yep.
I think that's a pretty cool idea.
Yep.
Well, that's
that's
on the fly.
Wow, that's another level.
Okay,
See,
right. Well,
that's
all right, just on the fly. I got goosebumps. We can, if you want to edit it, we can. But otherwise, we'll leave it as it is.
No, I got you.
I think that's fun, right?
Yeah.
Get some people follow your playlist.
Ooh,
Let's go.
That's crazy.
Have a great day.
Appreciate you.
Dare to Be.